good morning to all. My name is Santoshkumar Singh. I am the business development lead for AWS India. I manage the public sector business here, and I particularly take care of the state of Maharashtra. I have with me my colleague, Mr. Dhaval. Dhaval is our senior solutions architect, and he manages government as well as education business. First of all, I would like to thank Kumbhathon Innovation Foundation for giving us this opportunity to be a part of this event. Trust me, we are equally excited to be a part of this startup festival for Kumbhathon. We're going to have a short presentation here, and maybe 20 odd minutes is what we're going to take on the dais. If any Q&A, we are around here for another couple of hours, so please feel free to reach out to us. So, short agenda, and I just want to draw an analogy here. We are talking about Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela, as we all know, is the largest religious public gathering on this planet, and this is like a public information. If you look at, and I'm sure some of you might have also attended few of the Kumbh Melas in past, and or at least read and heard about them. Kumbh Mela is like an endless activity. And as I was going through this event and what Kumbhathon Innovation Foundation is going to do, they are talking about AI first Kumbh. So artificial intelligence can draw a parallel to Kumbh Mela, which is like an endless opportunity. I mean, you can just keep on innovating using artificial intelligence. Use cases, solutions, problem statements, whatever you bring up, AI has a point of view and is there to solve most of those challenges. But again, I mean, 20 minutes is not the justice that we can do to AI, but we're going to keep it crisp and short, and then of course we can have more Q&As. This is the short agenda. So tenets of digital transformation in government, specifically digital transformation that is happening in India. We're going to bring up few public referenceable case studies. AI for Kumbh, excellent topic, and I'm sure it's of most interest for most of you. And then some use cases, we are going to run a short demonstration, and then it's a wrap. Yeah. So just go to the next slide. We spoke about digital transformation in India. I was recently having a conversation with a friend and an industry veteran. He's a business analyst. And as you can understand, a business analyst role is to analyze businesses and give us insights and reports. And the person told me that you know where the largest digital transformation is happening today in the country? And it's not the startups. It's not the digital native businesses, DNBs. It's not commercial, retail or SMB. It's not even the enterprise sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest digital transformation today in India are happening in the public sector, in the citizen service delivery domains. The government of India is doing some of the largest digital transformations if you look around. See, look the way government approaches a project. If they have to bring up a transformation, they do it end to end. Unlike maybe an enterprise or a retail, which might do in a piecemeal basis, try something, if it works, might go to the next stage. But government does things end to end. And the kind of scale which a government can provide is just not comparable. I mean, you look at Kumbh Mela, I mean, the scale which maybe you people as startups or, you know, innovators or designers would be getting is like immense. I mean, all use cases can be tested, the scaling can be tested, the security aspects can be tested. So, I mean, that's the power of working in public sector domain, and we are privileged to be a part of that. Now, let us look at some of the tenets when it comes to large digital transformations. So we talk about making a digital transformation, but how do we make it successful? Very simply put, we need solutions, we need platforms which are very agile, which are very, very productive. I mean, today is the day where if you need an infra to be available, there are mechanisms that it can be made available within minutes. There are some services which can be activated within seconds, provided you understand the platforms. So you need to have those platforms, you need to have those services which are available, which are highly agile, which are highly productive. Data, as we all know, is the biggest strength today for organizations. And the kind of insights which data is able to give you today to run your businesses, to run For example, city administration. I'm sure you might have heard some things from the city administrations in last 2 days. The kind of data usage they are doing, the kind of data churning that is happening, smart city missions which you must have heard about. Today, the kind of data the cities are utilizing to improvise the citizen experience is at a next level. And this is all because of the technology today. How you manage the security, how you improve the operational resilience. There are systems today where you can actually guarantee almost zero downtimes. So gone are those days when systems were down and you need to wait for weeks for systems to come up and then start working. Today, we are talking about solutions which are having zero downtimes. I mean, it's absolutely seamless. So that's the kind of experience we're talking about. Integration, of course. We are not talking about one system or one odd systems. We're talking about multiple systems, hundreds of them. Today we have some customers which have got more than 100 disparate applications running. They're all integrated. Their databases are integrated. They're running seamlessly. Of course, there are ways and means in which this is to be done. Okay, decoupled and uncoupled solutions which are available. But this is how technology is progressing today. Likewise, how you can design systems which can increase your reach maybe to the citizens, reach to your customers, transparency and citizen engagement, modernized solutions, the next gen technology. And of course, I'm sure you must have heard a lot and you'll be hearing more today and some in our presentations. Most important is how can you make it more economical? All put together, a very, very sustainable solution, a very, very sustainable platform. And that is what hyperscalers like AWS can come forward and help. Just go to the next. These are just few referenceable customers of ours, and we are going to talk more about some of these and some of the use cases wherein large transformations have happened. These are national scale projects. Just to mention a few, if I have to talk about Maharashtra, the entire Mahavitran is hosted on AWS, and they are doing some of the most complex activities when it comes to IT. Most evolved, most advanced. Likewise, we have got Maha Online, which is Maha IT today. We have got Brain Mumbai Municipal Corporation, BMC or MCGM, as you people may know. There are some of the national scale projects like Prasar Bharati, IRCTCs, and many more. In fact, there is something called as National Stack. The government of India is running projects which are at the national stage. For example, CoWIN, Arogya Setu, DigiLocker, DigiYatra, where you are actually connecting the entire 1.4 billion citizens of the country. How are these solutions built? How are they designed? How are they so resilient? We can help you share our point of view. We are privileged to be involved in 6 of the 12 national scale platforms. They are all hosted on AWS, and the remaining 6 we are involved in some form or shape. So that's the power which comes with a brand like AWS, where we can enable you, we can empower you to do the unlimited. Okay, so we'll move forward. We're going to talk about some case studies, and I would request my colleague Dhaval to please take it ahead.
Thank you, Santosh. Good morning, everyone. This is Dhaval. Is my voice clearly audible right at the back? Just a show of hand. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm assuming everybody of you have at least heard of CoWIN, if not used personally. I'm saying if not used because I have met some student innovators, just 13, 14 years of age. So assuming when COVID happened, they must be 9 or 10, right? I mean, what an amazing era we are living at. They are 14 years of age and they are thinking about a national level platform. Really kudos to all you guys. So CoWIN, coming to CoWIN, right? It was an epidemic kind of a scale, national scale, right? 1.4, 1.2 billion people had to be vaccinated, right? So technology played a very important role, right? And that's the beauty of technology. That's where we are currently placed right now, right? Any problem we think that may not be solved by technology, but definitely technology can enable the right solution to it, if not directly solve to it. That's what CoWIN did for us, right? So let me focus some of the key points here, right? So any application has generally 2 parts. Just a simple architecture. There's a front end and there's a back end, right? So front end is where we see the interactions, the hits coming in, right? If you remember, initially when the CoWIN application was launched, there was a simple application. You register through your mobile number, you will receive an OTP, and then you will get details about your scheduled appointment to a medical center, right? When it initially started. But that was not the right citizen service which Government of India wanted to provide to its citizens, right? What they wanted to do is that they wanted to change the environment or change the ecosystem where citizens can pick and choose the schedule, pick and choose the center and the vaccination type also. Yeah, so it's a flight kind of like when we go for a ticket booking environment, right? So we choose flight, we choose the time, we choose the window, then seat also, meal also, etc., etc. So all those elements come in. Now, why I'm mentioning this fact? So now compare the two scenarios. When earlier there is a simple process of putting your mobile number, you receive the scheduled appointment, this and this 9:30 a.m. reach to this hospital. Now when you change it to an environment where citizens are choosing the various factors they want vaccinated with, they are spending so much time at the platform. And suddenly, if you see here, the daily concurrency limit rose from the daily hit limits rose from 2 million per day to 1.2 billion hits per day in May. So that is 4,000% increase, 4,000%. Can we imagine? Just look at the traditional way of procuring hardware, procuring technology. Can we achieve this in that scenario? Highly impossible, if not, near to impossible, I would say. So why did that happen, right? Again, relating back to all the tenets which Santosh covered in the first slide, that we need elasticity, we need scalability, and all this at the most secure environment. So imagine this, now India is coming up with a CoWIN platform, right? People who might have traveled to US during that point of time, you had to carry a paper-based certificate, CoWIN vaccination certificate, whereas Indians, all through around India, at the airport, security terminals, we had this digital pass, right, at that point in time. So all the attention throughout the world for the hackers was towards what India is doing differently. And CoWIN was at the highest for gaining the highest interaction from a hacker community as well. So it was very, very vulnerable to all the hacking community across the world. Everybody was trying to hack what India is doing differently. Shall we break it? Because there are obviously notorious elements always present, right? So how did AWS achieve this, or how did Government of India achieve this, or how did CoWIN team achieve this, right? There are some of the elements here I just want to mention, but again, given the time which we have on stage today, I may not go into total details, but if you are looking for more details, we'll be around here after this session also, okay? But what I mean to say is that quick turnaround, security, scalability at the cheapest of the cost. Remember, we are not compromising on the cost factor. We are not saying throw billions and then achieve all this. Anybody can do this. No, we are Indians. We want to achieve at the cheapest cost and then some more bargaining after that, right? Okay, so picking up the second example, right? So this is DigiLocker. How many of you have used DigiLocker? Yes, I think most of you have used, great. So you know, right, the scale of it, 124 million registered users, large files stored on file system, and we have 5.6 billion documents, high resolution documents which have been validated, certified, ready to be verified across different platforms also. Now you know, right, your college degrees are also there, mark sheets, school mark sheets, and then various kind of documents, your license, PUCs, etc. Everything is integrated into this. Newer age platforms like DigiYatra. So DigiYatra, you don't need to carry your identity separately, right? DigiYatra can integrate with DigiLocker, and you can validate your ID, Aadhaar card using this. Great, right? The times when we used to start on a two-wheeler or on a road journey, and we used to remember, "Arey, license bhul gaya, PUC bhul gaya, arey, insurance bhul gaya." Those times are gone. I mean, even the police people, right? The traffic police, they just scan your number plates or just scan your mobile number and they know whether you have a valid license, whether you have a registered insurance, whether you have a PUC, right? They directly ask you, "Are PUC nahi hai, baki sab hai." So that's where technology is playing an important role, right? So some of the key elements come from open source. So most of this platform is built on open source, and I'm so proud to say this today in front of you all that AWS Amazon is a big promoter of open source. I mean, we do not focus more on the licensing part of the things rather than putting our efforts on a open source kind of platform which can be used by general public at a much more cheaper cost. That is our ideology per se. And again, it is a microservice architecture. Why microservice architecture? Like I said, right? DigiLocker is being integrated across various platforms nowadays. DigiYatra is there, your education degrees, mark sheets, etc., etc. Again, these are some of more examples. I don't want to go into detail, but like Santosh said, we are very proud that in the national platform scheme of India, AWS and Amazon plays a huge role of it. Like Santosh mentioned, 6 of the 12 national platforms are hosted entirely on AWS, and AWS plays some role in the other 6 also. Yeah. DigiYatra, again, DigiYatra very important, right? You might have traveled to airports using DigiYatra. Mumbai, I think Nasik still doesn't have DigiYatra, but if you have traveled through any other airports, DigiYatra, you might have seen that already, right? So it's again completely hosted on AWS. This is a very recent case study, again completely migrated toward on AWS. Prasar Bharati, we know, they have launched a digital channel where they have 150% decrease in upload time. So earlier there used to be lag time, a lot of lag time, and now it has been completely eliminated with they going with the scalability part of it. Okay, just respecting time, moving on, right? So this is AWS approach for migration and modernization, right? We identify a project. I think we are all at that stage for Kumbhathon as an ideation, right? We go for experimentations. We help you with POCs. I myself, being a senior solution architect, I am hands-on. I work with customers day in, day out, try new things, try new services, try new solutions, architectures, etc., etc. Explain, and then we build a foundation. Foundation is basically a framework where you decide your architecture has been finalized, which will give you ultimate outcome of your desired outcome, plus the tenets which we saw in the slide number 1, right? And then we decide which components need migration, modernization, or we have to go for a open source cloud native kind of a solution. And finally, as an outcome, we go into the innovation domain or reinvention, right? Just a quick glance at AWS differentiators. Most migration experience, like we have talked about, most comprehensive and mature migration tools. So AWS, for those of you who have not actually hands-on worked with, I'll tell you, is basically Legos, right? You have seen Legos. So you can consider is the amalgamation of 200 plus services or Lego pieces, and you can build, connect them as an however way you want to build an entire solution out of it. This doesn't mean that we don't come up with ready solutions. We do that also. I, being a technical solution architect, I keep working on multiple solutions for our customers, public sectors, government, state, local government, etc. But we do have much more beyond the solutions part also. And we have broad partner ecosystem, and to the startups around here, I mean, this is, I would like to welcome you being a partner of AWS also. You can come build with us. We can help each other grow as a solution as well as business-wise. Now coming on to a bit more focused, right? AI for Kumbh. And again, this is another point which I was really amazed with, is that we are planning for a Kumbh 2.5 years, probably 2 years down the line. And we are thinking, I saw the metrics, KPIs which have been set, right? zero unresolved missing person cases, zero calamities, etc., etc. Those are some amazing KPIs, metrics we are setting for ourselves, amazing goals. And we are doing every effort in that. And we today, myself and Santosh, we are just glad and honored to be here with among you all, to be part of in this journey, and any which way we can contribute to this this goal probably, right? So what we envision for AI in Kumbh governance is that citizen engagement and chatbots, right? So you might have heard of Gen AI, right? It's a talk of the town. I mean, last 2 years we have spent, I think, more time on the Gen AI rather than any other technology term, I would say, right? So most of our customers, most of the organizations, even governments, education, etc., everybody is looking at Gen AI, how to resolve some business problems, solve productivity issue, bring up new innovation also. So basically we put Gen AI innovation into 3 different buckets. So one is solving your some business problem, right, which you could not do. We have ample examples of those also, which we have actually implemented, generating new new innovation and revenue out of that also. So this is a very prominent business case for that. Second is obviously to improve your productivity. For example, for developers, I want to again address this startup ecosystem present here today. We have Amazon Q for developer. It's a service called as Q for developer. So for example, let's say a scenario where you are looking for Java migration, right, to maybe a different technology or older version to newer version. In earlier times, we had to spend efforts, human efforts, hours together in doing that. But with Gen AI and services like Amazon Q for developer, this can be resolved in hardly any amount of time. I mean, this is completely automated today. So we have many such services where we have integrated Gen AI, which will benefit the developers, which will benefit your solutions, which will ultimately benefit the citizens also. Again, data analysis, predictive modeling is another area which we envisage we can help citizen build lot of things. Again, we have 2 actual demos for these 2 use cases. So we'll actually see that also. Cyber security and fraud detection. I mean, this is again, like Santosh mentioned, I also mentioned during COVID, right? I mean, very vulnerable application, but we still were able to succeed. Why? Because when we architect any application, any solution, we consider the key tenet of security always to be there, right? Because we are building for India scale, and India scale is no joke. The world is looking at India today, what India is doing with its applications, what India is doing. UPI is another very big example, right? And AWS is part of UPI also, for that matter. Amazing, amazing technology. So again, these are just few ideas, like we can extend DigiYatra kind of environment or ecosystem for selected venues within Kumbh basically, where we can have restricted access or identity-based access kind of an environment. Coming to AI for citizens, right? So we have worked with multiple local governments where we have built post-call analysis for CM helpline, for example. Let's say there is a CM helpline setup where citizens call for their grievances or any kind of problems they are facing. Let's say they have a police complaint against them, or they want to update some Aadhaar or etc. Anything it can be, right? So we have a post-call solution which can analyze all this data and come up with ready solution, automated solution for this. So there are various advantages of it. One, your citizen happiness index automatically increases, right? If I being a citizen, I call to my CM helpline and I understand that somebody is understanding me and solving promptly that issue, I'll always be happy, right? On the other side, the productivity is also improved, right? You don't have to have so many skilled people for that same task. You can automate some of it, for faster processing. Then we have solutions like natural language processing for seamless human-like interactions. So we have hyper-localization with Gen AI possible, right? So even in Maharashtra, let's say we have Marathi, but there are so many different types of Marathi. We have Irani, we have different tones, different vernaculars, right? So we can go hyper-local in that scenario. We can just simply have a voice bot interact with farmers, and we'll see one small example of it, not maybe hyper localized, but we'll see an actual demo of it also. So basically this is the entire vision what we have, maybe small, put together in a very short timeline, maybe in hardly 1 day or 2 days. But yeah, I mean something to look for. So we can look at, some kind of a metaverse kind of a scenario where people can go online, look at the tourist places in Nasik, maybe have a real metaverse kind of a situation, metaverse kind of a look for those using AR, VR. Maybe have online website where they can entirely book their itinerary using Digi Yatra, where to visit which places, have entry passes for that, already provisioned, etc., etc. And everything will be linked to the digital twin of the Nashik city. Okay, just boasting a bit, so these are some of the brands which use AI on AWS, since many, many years, I would say, not spending too much time here. I want to just maybe take 5 more minutes before we jump to the demo to bring to you how AWS does the innovation beyond the screen, right? We see services, etc., etc. But what is beyond that? So AWS has its own processor, chipset, that is innovation at the chip level, that is silicon level. These chipsets are called as Trainium and Inferentia. Trainium and Inferentia. Now you know that for Gen AI, we use LLMs, right? Large language models. There are other types of models also, but primarily let me focus on LLMs. So when you train these LLMs, they are billions of parameters. And training itself takes huge lot of effort, time, money also, right? Processing power, of course. So that's why this Trainium processor reduces your, or rather increases your throughput by 4x rather than compared to a traditional GPU, right? Ultimately, it amounts to saving cost 4 times. And similarly, Inferentia is, let's say, when your LLM or your trained model is ready and you are now going into the inferencing phase, that you will draw inferences out of that endpoint. So Inferentia is specifically designed for inferencing. So why this is called as innovation at the silicon level? Because see, Amazon has data scientists which studied how inferencing and training happens, right? How big the parameter size is there, what kind of data we provide, how the flow goes for training and model. I would say general model, it can be LLM also. And that's where we have reassigned the silicon, designed, re-architected, redesigned the silicon itself to get such higher throughputs. So basically what I mean to say is that if you are considering AI as part of your solution or designing, etc., we have the right mix for you. Model choices, we have lot of open source models available on AWS, proprietary models also. We have security and responsible AI built in. So I want to focus just 1 minute over here also. So why security and responsible AI is important? So we know that currently there's a Mahakumbh already going on, right, in Prayagraj. So if you go to that website, there is a chatbot built for Mahakumbh called as Sahayak, Sahayak. So there's an AI in between, Sahayak named. That chatbot, now every organization is building a chatbot. That is not a difficult part, right? But building it responsibly is important, because there is always some kind of a notorious element who will try to push some profanity elements towards your chatbot or your application, right? So Sahayak uses profanity filters by AWS service called as Bedrock in their application. So if somebody who is not of the right intentions tries to build some or send some or generate some profanity content, etc., then that will be automatically blocked, because that is protected by guardrails which is provided by Amazon Bedrock. And obviously integration is major part of it. Like I mentioned, we we promote open source services so that it can be readily integrated with all your solutions, your architecture primarily, and cost and performance. So we never leave cost out of the picture. I mean, we'll help you to the extent possible and then some with the cost always. Sorry. So for the builders of here, right, the startup ecosystem here. So AWS AI tech stack is considered to be 3-layered, right? So here infrastructure layer is primarily, so infrastructure, security and cost performance, these are the, let me go to the next slide better this, okay. So let's say you are a startup, you want to build your own model, you want to design your own LLM, you want to train it yourself, then you want to build an application out of it. The entire logic, configuration, everything has to be done by you. Then we have the lowermost layer where everything is customizable, this last layer, right? Where you have chipset also you can choose, model you can bring, you can choose GPUs, CPUs, technology, PyTorch, TensorFlow, etc. All the components you can choose yourself, build upon that. Let's say case number 2, you don't want to spend so much time, right? You want something very quick and fast. Then this is layer number 2 for you, where we have platforms which give you access to do all this readily available. So for example, SageMaker is the core service, which is a basically complete end-to-end AI/ML platform where you can bring your data, train your data, test your data, complete your, build your model, and then also start inferencing in the same environment, right? So like here it says, prepare data, geospatial, any kind of data, work with Python or any other languages, etc. Train model, tune parameters, deploy in production, and manage and monitor. Let's say you are not looking for this granularity also. You want ready solutions, right? You want something very quick fix, right? Sahayak, for example, right? So this is the topmost layer which has ready AI services available. So for example, I talked about one service like Bedrock, right? So Bedrock is the key Gen AI service which can enable a secure environment, have a lot of model access, more than 30 different model access provides for Gen AI in a secure environment using guardrails where your data remains within your account always. So I think everybody of you might have used ChatGPT, right? So when you upload a document to ChatGPT, for example, let's say I upload a 5-page PDF and I ask ChatGPT to summarize this document. Now that document is already gone into the internet. I don't have any secure access to that document now. I mean, what will happen to that document is only anybody's guess, for example. Let's now consider the scenario that you have a proprietary document. You have an organization where you cannot share this document outside. Then you cannot use any such tools which have a public, which do not restrict the security of your documents, for example, right? So for that scenarios, you can build all your applications using Amazon Bedrock. Basically, all those models are readily available to you using APIs within Bedrock. And when you upload any document, any content, any proprietary thing, or even if you generate any content, all remains within the account boundaries of your AWS account itself. Nobody else will have access unless until you explicitly provide an access outside. And then we have services like, I don't want to go into detail, but we have a lot of services for coders and developers also, Code Guru, Code Whisperer, DevOps Guru, etc. And we have ready solutions around this area. Yeah. Any questions at this stage? Any questions?
Hi, I'm Richa. I'm a filmmaker and I'm coming up with a solution for creating entertainment content for kids by kids. So I find the first one very interesting. And actually, this presentation today surprisingly answers a lot of my questions about how I can have technological support and explore the idea of having a platform, which a lot of our friends here have suggested, to have a platform where AI and these solutions. I'm not a techie, so
Understood.
please bear with me. So these solutions can be integrated to bring millions of people on one platform who can then have solutions like create your own characters or write your own stories and interaction and so on, and also have these bedrock kind of solutions where you can bar certain topics and certain, like to be misused and so on. So please tell me, if I were to use your services, what would be the right way to go about it and what would be the right solution if it is?
Sure.
So I'll take that. So basically, if you look at AWS, Amazon Web Services, it's a self-service platform. Of course, I do understand that you may not be from an IT domain or you may not have those expertise in-house. But still, the good part is, while across the globe, mostly it is self-service, so people can go and try hands-on. But the best part is, and specifically in India, we are here to help you out. So depending on whatever domain you are, we've got a very extended, elaborate team who can give you initial guidance. We have got a large team to support our partners. So as Dhaval mentioned in one of those slides, that we would encourage you to come forward and become our partners. And there's a complete onboarding mechanism wherein we can guide you. In case you do not wish to go through that entire journey of learning yourselves, we can arrange somebody who can assist you get onboarded ASAP. You can continue to work in your domain, which could be, as you mentioned, that you're something into media or filmmaking, and our subject matter experts along with our partners can help you get onboarded ASAP. Of course, it's a process where we do a lot of discovery with you. It's called as discovery workshops. We understand what are your requirements. We give you suggestions, and on basis of that, you can go ahead. And as we saw in the same slide, that there are multiple options: 1, 2, 3. Do it yourself. It's partially automated, fully automated. I mean, it's up to you. So, we are here for some more time, and we can connect, and I can guide you. I can connect you with more people, and we can take it there. It's very simple for us.
Yes, sir.
If I heard you correctly, you are asking that AWS Marketplace does not have India-based companies?
Allow. I mean, I have talked to someone. He told that, marketplace is okay and we can enlist our software for service, but it does not allow India-based companies to enroll in marketplace, correct?
No, I don't think so. That information is correct. There's a very well-drafted onboarding mechanism. There's a qualification criteria. So whoever, wherever fits into that criteria, we get them onboarded into Marketplace. We've got more than 8,000 partners on Marketplace, and they are across the globe. And I'm very confident that there are many from India as well. I've sold some of them. So I don't think so that's a challenge. We've got a team, an ISV team, who helps you get onboarded on Marketplace again. So if there's something that you're planning to, get onboarded onto AWS Marketplace, we can help you with that.
Hello. Sir, I'm building a solution for wastewater bioremediation treatment. So how I can integrate AI with partnering with you?
So if I heard you correctly, you are looking for you are building currently a solution around
Remediation of wastewater.
Okay, yeah. And how to integrate AI in that?
Exact.
So we have some experience around this, but let's connect after the session probably. If we don't have ready solutions or ready ideas for you, we can do a joint brainstorm also for that.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just take 5 more minutes for 2 demos. Okay, so now it's time to see something in action, right? We have heard a lot of things since morning. Screen sharing. उसको mirror कर दो क्या? Yeah. Okay. So for example, let's assume that we are into the, this is a hypothetical scenario, can be applied to many use cases. Let's say we are into the Mahakumbh currently, for example, right? And Prashasan or the government wants to, send some message to all those attending the Mahakumbh, for example, right? And there may be people from different languages. It's not restricted to one particular language or one particular locale, right? For example. So this is basically an information dissemination solution which can, decimate your information into various local languages. It can be voice, it can be text, it can be delivered using email, SMS, WhatsApp, etc. All the integration, right? So just a simple example where I have taken the small message which Prashasan has organized for Mahaprasad and community feast for all Kumbh Mela attendees. So requesting all to please take advantage of the same, right? Now I go ahead and select the languages currently what I want to look for, or if you have registered users, this can be brought in from your database directly. So for example, I being a Maharashtrian, I have my preferred language as Marathi, and if I am registered in your database, when you pull my name, my preferred languages will be attached to that, right? And then we generate the message, for example, right? So here, for example, this.
सर्व उपस्थितांसाठी महाप्रसाद आणि सामुदायिक मेजवानीचे आयोजन केले आहे, त्यामुळे सर्वांनी कृपया त्याचा लाभ घ्यावा अशी विनंती केली आहे.
Was that audible? Okay, great. So basically, I mean, whatever languages you select, it can be translated into that.
તમામ લોકો માટે મહાપ્રસાદ અને સામુદાયિક ભોજનનું આયોજન કર્યું છે, જેથી સૌને તેનો લાભ લેવા વિનંતી કરવામાં આવે.
And once I click on the broadcast message, this can be delivered, like I said, using SMS, email, where there will be a voice link to it, or simple WhatsApp integration is also possible. Yeah. Just one more solution I just want to present here is the post-call analysis. Like I said, CM helpline, right? So we are actually working with one of the local governments. I don't want to name currently because it's still in progress. But basically, it is a CM helpline where all the calls received. So basically, this is nothing but the call recordings, right? These are all the call recordings. I'll pick some sample. For example, this is related to credit card for that matter. So what is happening here? I am trying to understand the sentiment of the call from just the call recording, right? So for example, there was the call duration was 3 minutes 2 seconds, right? Language is currently English, but this can very well work in Hindi and English also, Hindi-English mix also, yeah. This is the agent sentiment. So agent sentiment remains stable. Customer sentiment is trending towards upwards. So he started with maybe a negative sentiment and then going upwards as the resolution is near, right? These are details of the technical details, which format, etc., etc. And these are the scorecard, right? Sentiment scorecard of the agent and customer. This is the speaker time. How much time the speaker or the agent was talking versus how much time the customer was talking, and if there is any silence in between, that is also counted. Then these are the various parameters of the voice modulation understood from the AI, right? So for example, there is interruption, loudness, customer silence, etc., etc. So all these sentiments are also counted. And then important part here is that we need to understand the entities out of it, right? Whether the solution was provided during the call or there is an action item pending. So there is an automatic detection of entities also. So for example, the entities talked about here is Anchor Credit Union, Fisherman Terminal, etc. Right? And then yeah, I think very good point, I think. So what happens is that if I am calling, for example, let's say somebody, right? I say my name, this is Dhaval calling on behalf of AWS, for example, right? Now this all call recording will be stored in your database or somewhere, some file, right? But with the security acts currently and DPDP, I am sure you all know, right? It will be very soon and reality. So with DPDPA, you cannot store customers' PII data, personally identifiable information, right? So there's an automated filter over here, which is called as PII redaction. So even if during the call, I said my name, I said my phone number, I said my email, I said my address, those will automatically be masked while storing in your database. So your post processing of all those information, you have to identify. For example, let's say without this small factor, you will have to go through, you know, hours and hours of recording, or maybe develop another model who will identify names, etc., and then redact, mask the information. So this is all readily done by you, for you. And you can disable this also. Let's say for some purpose, maybe government, right? Government, वो तो कुछ भी store कर सकते हैं, right? So they can disable this, for example. Yes, sir. Can they be? Exactly. So that is all the purpose of this. See, if I am providing this as a solution for CM helpline, I need to understand, and we had this presented to actual IS officers who said that this solution is very relevant. Why? Because there are some people, some agents, some who solve these issues, who work better in a specific area. For example, somebody is a solution providing this, attending these calls, for example. He is working excellent, his performance is excellent in Nashik. So let's say next year he is transferred to Kolhapur, his performance dips. Maybe there's a personal motivation behind this, or maybe he doesn't want to work in that area, maybe he is facing some personal issues. God knows, right? But we need to identify such issues. So exactly that is the point over here. And I'll just show you the dashboard also. I'll just complete this part and quickly go to the dashboard. So there is a generative AI summary also. I'm sorry, I'm taking a lot of time here. So there's a quick generative AI summary also generated here of the call. So you don't have to listen to the 3-minute entire call. The summary of the transcript, the customer called Anchor Union Credit to report their credit card fell into water while, etc., etc. Yeah. So topic is automatically detected as card replacement, etc. Yeah. Actions taken by the agent. And here is the call summary. Issue, action items, no pending action items, and outcome is also done, right? Let's say I don't get the information which is provided over here in the summary. I want to ask some more information, right? So I will ask why was the user calling? So this is the live generative AI chat based on only and only the call transcript, which is the call recording, right? Based on the transcript, the user was calling Anchor Union credit card to get their credit card replaced, etc. Yeah? And this is the whole transcript. Here you can see the effect of the PII redaction also, right? So here is the customer name, for example, which has been redacted already. If I turn off that filter, run this process again, you will see the names, etc. So I am going to now the analysis part of it. Yeah, just allow me a second. So basically what I want to show is that you don't have to go through each call to the call level detail. You can simply get this dashboard. It is still populating. So here it will tell you that from this date to that date, what is the total customer sentiment, what is the agent talk time, agent sentiment, etc. all in a single dashboard. And this has granularity. So you can go to one particular agent, one particular call, etc., etc. Yeah. So with that, I think respecting, we have already taken a lot of time. We'll be present here post this session also. So if you have any questions, please do reach out. Yeah. Thank you so much.